we're doing in Nuevo León. This conference is called Nuevo León Leads Nearshoring in North America. We are now kind of famous because Tesla just announced the gigafactory that will be settled in Santa Catarina, Nuevo León. But the truth is that before Tesla, we were already having a lot of economic records in our state, and I hope new companies and everyone can see what we're doing in our state. Location. We are neighbors of US, especially Texas. The Monterrey city is nowadays the second biggest city metroplex in Mexico. We have been considered for decades as the industrial capital city of Mexico, and that's why for many years we have been integrating ports, the railroads, the highways, and now we have a very special customs and border city, Colombia, that is the safest and quickest of Mexico. Nuevo León also has an international airport with 12 air flights, more than 2,000 flights per week, and we have connection with most of the most important cities in the US: Vegas, Los Angeles, Dallas, Detroit, New York, Miami, obviously to Europe through Madrid, and we are every time getting more and more flights, domestic and international flights. And this is what I told you about ports. Ensenada, Altamira, Manzanillo, they'll go through Nuevo León and through South Pacific Union or Ferromex. We can have the railroads to the US. Something very special about Mexican industrial capital, that it's Monterrey, is that any product assembled in Nuevo León can be in 20 hours settled in any city of US and Canada. So for everyone that wants to get to the US market, the best place to invest, no doubt, is Monterrey, Nuevo León. COVID-19 obviously accelerated the process of nearshoring. Last year, we had 50% of every nearshoring or relocation in Monterrey. In the last years, US bills like the infrastructure bill, the CHIP bill, and obviously all the sanctions and taxes imposed to China have made alignment of planets to Nuevo León, and we're very proud to say that today Nuevo León is getting 72%, 72.2%, then I'm being punished, of the nearshoring that gets to Mexico. Obviously always pushed by this notice of Tesla. Last year, we got 12% of foreign direct investment. So before Tesla, one of every $5 that went to Mexico were established in Monterrey. We now think we could get at least one of every $4 that comes to our nation. Every week, we are getting at least one expansion or one relocation of transnational companies to our state. Here we have an example. I will get a moment to show you most of the companies that we're having in Nuevo León. We have a very special automotive cluster. Obviously now with Tesla and other announcements we're giving this year, we will be first place, no doubt. We have home appliances, software, aerospace, food, beverages, and other kinds of industry. 4,200 foreign companies now in Monterrey. We also have by law 13 clusters, very special. Everyone works in its competence But besides automotive and aerospace, we also have health hubs in Nuevo León, housing hubs in Nuevo León, and obviously the new technologies like nano and biotechnology. This year, in a conservative manner, we think we will have at least $11.5 billion, obviously Tesla included, and we are now 8.3 national GDP of Mexico. With Tesla, we will be at least 9 or 10%. Each year, we are competing with other states in new job creation. Last year, we had 77,000 new jobs, and in these 3 months, we already have 50,000. So we have every confidence we will break again this record in job creation. We have a bigger GDP than the national average, and at least half of the largest global companies have been establishing in Nuevo León. This is a symbol of Nuevo León in economic records. We have been getting first place in almost every matter. But the truth, or the specific goal, is that each year, the gap between the first and second place is each time bigger. This is an example of exports. $51 billion on exports. And each time, each year, we think we're getting greater records than the last ones. So I think now Nuevo León is in a new historic pathway that can last 5, 10, or 20 years. And this is making the best bet to invest, to come and visit us in Nuevo León. Well, I would like to make an announcement also. In January, the 6th and the 7th, you are all invited to Nuevo León. We are having Hannover's electromobility event. And also I see my friends from auto providers, also the same days in Monterrey. So as you see, we're becoming an electromobility hub. And with Tesla, we hope the government can make the infrastructure and the services to become one of the world's electromobility hub for you to come and visit to this feria in January. Last month was very favorable for us. I became a dad, had my baby Mariel. We got a lot of rain in our city, but the truth that the announcement of Tesla was incredible and unbelievable. We went to the Austin Gigafactory to make this announcement with Elon Musk, and now Tesla is constructing the biggest factory of the world. Not only of Teslas, but the biggest in the world. Tomorrow we are visiting Berlin's Gigafactory to get ideas to make some connections and clusters. But the Nuevo León's Gigafactory is going to be the biggest, and it's going to make the new electric vehicle economic motors for the world to have a big expansion in electromobility. Thank you, thank you. And obviously Tesla is not coming alone. Before Tesla, we received its providers, most of them Tier 1 and Tier 2. We have NOAA, Vertiv, Brembo, Janssen, Quanta Computers, new ones that are visiting us here in Hanover, and we think that we will receive around 40 or 50 medium and big companies in the next months to be providers, suppliers, or customers of Tesla in Nuevo León. Obviously, these investments have to be followed by the government with new projects, big projects. We're always proud to say that this government, this 6th term year's government, is making the infrastructure we didn't have in the last decades. We're making 3 new highways, 3 new subways, 2 more hospitals, and obviously the best border and customs of Mexico. Last year our border won the 2nd place. We are very close to Laredo, which is the most used border in the world. And nowadays, Colombia, that is in Nuevo León, I will show you a video for you to know where we are located. But before, we just finished this very important highway, a loop that connects all the way the city of Monterrey from Telda Gigafactory all the way to the other side of our state in Montemorelos. We call it Anillo Periférico. We will finish in November this new highway that will connect directly Monterrey to Laredo, Texas, 150 miles, concrete, secure, and free highway from our city all the way up to Texas. This is an old one. The number 1 North State is being made again, and also with a lot of efforts of security issues, we're making a Fuerza Civil, that is our own local police, the best one in Mexico. We're having a checkpoint every 40 kilometers so we can have the most secure highways of all the way to the US. And this will be the best highway, I think, for Mexico in many years, the Interserrana Highway. Monterrey and Mexico City, for many centuries, have been divided by the Sierra Madre Oriental. This highway would cross the Sierra and would reduce at least 120 kilometers, 1 hour and a half expended time. Before this highway, all the freights that came from Mexico City or Central America, they have to go all around to Saltillo, Coahuila, and make around 1 hour and a half distance. With this highway and the other ones we're telling you, we are sure that all the freights will reduce at least 1 hour and a half. And if you added that amount of time with the 5-minute crossing in Colombia, we're showing all the enterprises that by Nuevo León, you reduce 3-hour amount of time freights, and obviously with this, reduce a lot of costs of wages, of diesel, and many other expenditures. This will be our highway network picture or graphic. This is what I call the Interserrano. Most of the time you have to round up to Saltillo. Then on blue, you have El Periférico that we just finished. And in November, we will have in green Gloria, Colombia. So in 3 years, everyone that wants to send its merchandise to the US, you will be secure and safely sending your merchandise all the way through Nuevo León without getting to Coahuila or Tamaulipas and get it to the best market in the world, that is the US North American market. And here is a video to show you how well Nuevo León is integrated and connected to ports, to railroads, and to these highways. As I just told you, we're having an economic boom. This opportunity appears once every 100 years. And for Nuevo León, we're taking every advantage of these times. As the US is sanctioning and making a lot of taxes to China, we have just made a comparison that with these new highways, everything it's been ensembled in Nuevo León. You can put it in every city, in Vancouver, in Seattle, in New York, in 20 hours. For an Asian assembling that came from China, Taiwan, or other countries that want to get to the US, it could take at least 16 weeks. All these comparative examples show why nearshoring is coming to Mexico, and the main door is obviously Monterrey, Nuevo León. The Colombia border crossing, it's very close from Laredo. We are 30 minutes away from Laredo. Laredo is too big, it's overcrowded. You can last 2 or 3 hours to cross. In Colombia, we have a benefit. These 16 miles of Nuevo León's North City, it's virgin. We have no housing. That helps us a lot because we have no felonies in this border. No smuggling, no drugs, nor migration, nor trafficking. And that's why with the Texas government, with Governor Abbott, with CBP, and with Borders and Customs from the US, we are the only border in Mexico that have double revision programs. And that's why we are crossing in 5 minutes. And if you are a Tesla provider, we have an exclusive lane of Tesla where you get certificate and you will cross with the minimum examination process, even less minutes than the ones in the traditional lanes. We are number one in agri-food because we have this double revision program, and for all the veggies that want to go fresh into Texas, the best way is to reduce the 2 or 3 hours you make in Laredo. So most of them now are coming through Colombia. We have been increasing our flow, and we think that in 3 years with the Interserrana and the Gloria Colombia finish, we will double or triple the crossings, 8 to 10,000 freights per day. Well, we just got the second place of all the Mexican borders, and we bet anyone that if they do less, the Secretary of Economy is betting his salary, his monthly salary, if someone can show us that they are faster. Well, also, security is very important. This is the first question every investor asks to the government. The truth is that Mexico is a very big country. It's true, we are having difficulties in some areas, but we're 100% sure Nuevo León is a safe and secure state, not saved by us. It's saved by the US government, Ken Salazar officials. They are always showing this map, and they consider Nuevo León a green, safe city which tourism and investment is recommended. Obviously, the quality of life, it's also a great issue, and it's always asked by the investors. We have in Monterrey a cosmopolis, a city full of young people from all the world, because we have the best universities in our city. So we're having a lot of interchanges, and we also have the richest city of America Latina, called San Pedro, that can provide the quality life of any other city like Dubai or like New York. Obviously, we have a lot of human capital. We have Tec de Monterrey, which provides a lot of engineers, technicians, professionals, and this year we will launch a new project of dual education called Educatesla, and we will be capacitating and making new study programs for these new sciences like driverless electric vehicles, obviously for Starlink, for all these companies coming with Tesla, We're making new studies for artificial intelligence, and all what is coming with this new world. Obviously, we are a state that is procuring to make a lot of richness, but always with our environmental support. So that's why we created two new agencies. One is the Renewable Energy Agency. It's the only state that has one, and we're always trying to fight for getting the new wind, solar, and new renewable energies, and also the Air Quality Agency for the industry to be in this pathway for net zero and obviously take care of our environments. With all of this, our main goal in these 5 years that we will last in the government is to become the world's new electromobility hub. We know it's hard, but we always are looking forward in this pathway for cutting-edge knowledge, science, and technological developments. Thank you very much, and I open obviously for questions, answers, and critics. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. And we're from Coahuila. We're the neighbors. We just want to express our thanks to the Governor, to his team, what they did with not only Tesla, but with their long history of being entrepreneurs and being able to generate all this investment. We have to understand that nearshoring helps a lot of regions. Not only Nuevo León, but Nuevo León's actions impact Coahuila, they impact Texas, they impact San Luis Potosí. So we're very grateful for what you did, Governor. Felicidades.
Thanks.
Muy orgullosos. We are from Parques Industriales Amistad, and we are in central Mexico, we are in northern Mexico as well, but this impacts all of Mexico, not just
That's sure. Yes, I would like to add that Nuevo León's capital, Monterrey, gathers 92% of our citizens. We are a metroplex, which is now around 6 million people. But we are also very close to Saltillo, Coahuila, that is the capital of Coahuila. So if you add all these regions, obviously we are the size of Houston or the size of Dallas, and we're always trying to be collaborative between the states and with the federal government to take the most advantage of all these investments. So you for sure will see that the northeast region of Mexico is getting advantage of Texas and obviously of nearshoring. Thank you for your comments. Please.
Thank you, Governor. I'm the automotive cluster manager in Nuevo León. I want to add to your presentation that one of the problems that we have in Mexico is that the auto industry is growing a lot because of the USMCA. And a part of that is the nearshoring. So we are in desperately need of more suppliers. Whatever we have in Mexico is not enough. So we are here because we are inviting companies from different regions like Turkey, like Poland, like Malaysia, that has kind of suppliers that we need. So I will want to thank you and Ivan, whatever you are doing to help us to bring these kind of suppliers to complete our value chain. And I think these efforts will be very good as we are doing between the private initiative and the government.
Sure. Well, thank you very much. Can you help me with your flyer? To be a very quick announcement. We're getting 6th and 7th of June, this event of electromobility and also Proveedores Automotriz. So we will be very glad to receive you in Nuevo León for you to see, know the city, And with this, obviously, it's an impact on the mobility of the future and how Nuevo León is betting in electromobility. So you are always invited to Nuevo León, Mexico, and I will set our team to help you with any flights or booking hotels assistance. Here, let me present you Ivan Rivas. He's the Secretary of Economy of Nuevo León. And Emmanuel, the Subsecretary of Investments. There's a question always.
Hi, Governor. I'm Franco Fernandez from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs there in Mexico. How does the government of Nuevo León ensure that companies have a sufficient and resilient energy supply? Thank you.
Thanks. Great. Very good question. And also, I would like to thank from Hanover to the federal government every role they play in the Texas and the Tesla's investment. Well, thank God, Monterrey is the central distributor of energy of most of the northeast of Mexico. So we have always surplus in energy. Nowadays we have around 30% surplus, and most of it in high tension, like Tesla's, they need it, for example. So anything you need in Nuevo León, we have a special team in the Secretary of Economy to help you with the three governments. We can help you in the water issues, electric issues, municipality issues, and we had a great relation also with CFE, with CONAGUA, that are the federal authorities that help us with the factibilities. So anything you need from energy, we have enough energy. We have nowadays the cheapest gas of the world because we have very strong Texan connectors with Nuevo León. So in energy matters and laboring costs, we can assure we have the best prices worldwide. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Gladys Araujo. I'm the Global Supply Chain Strategy VP for Mattel, and we have been in Monterrey, Nuevo León for over 25 years. And I just want to echo the two comments from Manuel and from the other gentleman about Mattel has the first in our whole ecosystem certified green factory in Monterrey, Nuevo León. And also the second thing is, according to our international different advisors that we have, Monterrey has been always selected as the first place of choice, and we have our largest manufacturer site in Monterrey, Nuevo León, among many other companies, the international companies that are there. But I also want to echo what Manuel has been saying, is that we desperately need the full supply chains to be integrated into the Mexico. Then there are plenty of opportunities for everyone. It's not only in Nuevo León, it's all Mexico, it's for the world, and for the US market, that is the largest market in the world. Then we need all type of components because as you were saying, we need at least 70% is our target of localized. Then maybe you start as selling your products over there, but with the volume, you will have the business case to install your organization in Mexico. Then this is an invitation for everyone, and congratulations to our government who has been doing an awesome job to support the economy.
Thank you very much. Well, that's our best example. Witnesses of companies already installing Nuevo León, and you are our best sellers. So thank you very much. The truth is that the free trade agreement, what we call TEMEC, has helped a lot Mexico and most of the north of the states. We have been making clusters and get very well connected with Texas mostly. And with these free trade agreements, we invite you to make a revision. This new TEMEC that will last at least 60 more years, it's very generous with the regional content for you to be a provider of the treaty and get to the US market without taxes. And if you add that these new US bills are considering Mexico as a regional partner, many of the